Hey friends, so I get a lot of questions asking how to do Daisy's Boutique, or complaints saying that they absolutely refuse because, you know, it's like the bane of their existence to do Daisy's Boutique at all. So I have done tutorials before on stream. I figured it would probably be more helpful and more beneficial to just make a tutorial that you guys can reference at any time. And please ignore my birds in the background. If you know me, you know I have a whole flock of small noisy pests. Okay, so let's start with the beginning, right? When you first get Daisy's Boutique, the quest line has you design a piece of clothing, and then you move on to the furniture portion. So let's talk about Touch of Magic first. So the first thing she's going to have you do in the quest is design a piece of clothing. All you have to do is go to Wardrobe, Customize, and you're going to add a new item. So there are a few different things to choose from. You can pick any of these to design for that first challenge. You could choose one that you actually are really interested in, or you could just do a throwaway one. It really doesn't matter, because again, you're just kind of trying to finish that quest line, right? I don't know. Let's grab these mini ears. You're gonna select it and then click create. The first thing I personally always do is I change the background color, and for these, let's just do, I'm wearing purple, so we'll do a purple color. We'll do this one. Matches the best, I guess. And then you could literally keep it as simple as that, and it will count towards the quest. If you want to get more intricate, I can do like another Touch of Magic tutorial as well, by the way, but for now, again, we'll go into all here. Here's a little Tinkerbell. You can move her around, put her on the ears if you want. And there you have it. All you have to do now is just back out of it. It saves, and then what you'll do, see, this is the first one I ever made. I just have it on there still. So if you interact with it, you can select Put on Outfit, and you'll select the item that you made, confirm, and there you go. You'll be done with that part of the quest, okay? So part 2 is like Daisy's actual challenge, right? So you go up to Daisy, you ask her what the challenge is. What's the challenge today? She wants you to make something that incorporates earrings, art, quirky, the sword in the stone, playful, and simple. Now, this will include both like wardrobe and furniture, and I will show you how that works. But first, I want to let you know, if you do not have something, so say I come up here and I go to wardrobe, and it says both requirements require a sword in the stone item, if you can see that up here. If you do not have a sword in the stone outfit, for example, and you cannot complete this challenge, like there's nothing you can do to complete this challenge because you don't have the items that you need. See, for example, I only have this one hat. So pretend I did not have this hat. I cannot complete this challenge. There's nothing I can do. I'm going to go up to Daisy, and I'm going to select cancel the current challenge. Even when you cancel the current challenge, you'll still be able to start a new one. So cancel. Do you really want to cancel? Yes, cancel this challenge. Now, since you canceled it, you can start a new one. What's the challenge today? So now she wants me to design something that incorporates skirts, utilities, outdoors, Moana, wondrous, and strong. So we're going to go up here. Okay, so right now I'm going to reset everything so it's as if I'm working on a blank slate. But normally when I do Daisy challenges, I just let everything build up like this, because the more you let things like this build up, and you use items that you don't typically decorate with, so you don't really miss them, or you can just easily buy more from Scrooge, it makes the Daisy challenges really easy. At some point, with enough items built up, you barely have to edit your characters. on the mannequins. You barely have to edit the furniture mode. Let's start with wardrobe. So the requirements for both means that you need Moana, Wondrous, and Strong in wardrobe and in furniture, as well as the items she wants in wardrobe and furniture. So in my outfit on the mannequins, I have to have Moana, Wondrous, Strong, and skirts. So I'm going to start by searching for Moana. And any of these items count towards the Moana tag. So it's really helpful if you can knock out 2 at once. For example, you could knock out skirts and Moana at the same time. Now, unfortunately, there's not a skirt here. So let's try the top. So by putting the top on, I have now knocked out the Moana tag. Alright, so we're going to go and search for filters again. We're going to reset the filters. We need Wondrous, Strong, and skirts. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at Wondrous. You could choose Wondrous or Strong, for example. I don't recommend choosing both at the same time. You might find that by choosing 2 tags at the same time, that doesn't mean that the item is guaranteed to have 2 tags. You'll likely end up having to go back in, because say this yellow skirt right here, say it has, if I had searched Wondrous and Strong, this yellow skirt could still come up even if it only has the Wondrous tag. So then you'll put the outfit on the mannequin and then be frustrated that you don't still meet the requirements. However, we searched Wondrous and put in skirts up here. We're in the skirt section. So that knocks out Wondrous and skirts. So now all we need left in wardrobe is Strong. So I'm going to unselect Wondrous, select Strong, go back. Let's just put on these glasses. And it really does not matter what your character looks like. You do not have to create a beautiful outfit. It doesn't need to look good. You just need to complete the challenge. So now that I have this outfit that incorporates, let me go back in and show you. So Wondrous, Strong, Moana, and skirts. Now that we have knocked all 3 of those out, we're going to go up to the mannequin and click edit. Now she's wearing what Daisy wants. And you'll see here that skirts is check marked off because we've completed it. These up top where it says both will not show that they're done yet until furniture is also done. So now we're going to go into furniture. She wants outdoors and utilities. So this might be something that we can knock out at the same time. Let's search and filter outdoors, go back, and then also search utilities. There we go. We have an outdoor item and a utility item at the exact same time. Now, if that doesn't work, what you can do is just search for all and choose any outdoor item. So I could put this piece of coral out. That's an outdoor item. And then I could also go into utilities separately without the filter for utility or outdoors. And I could put any item down. So I could put a toilet and this outdoor item. So now I have a utility and an outdoor item. However, like I had mentioned, you could also do, if it's possible, you can filter for both. You could do outdoors with the filter, apply the filter, and then go into the utility section and find something there that will count towards both. I'll just use this little cooking station. Okay, now I also need a Moana item as well. I still need a Moana item, so I'm going to reset my filters, go down to Moana, and I wonder if she has any utilities. She does! Oh my gosh, we could have... Okay, this single item technically counts for Moana, outdoors, and utilities. again, if that's complicated and you feel like you can't search for all at once, you can do all separately like we were doing before. You just search Moana, search all, and you could add a Moana item. And this was a Moana too, I guess. So now, we have Moana, Wondrous, Strong, Skirts, Outdoors, and Utilities. Do you see how every single tag counts? Now, if I went up to her and said, did I complete the challenge? She would say, yes, you completed it, because all of my check marks were fulfilled. Now, I want to see if I can cancel and try a new one. Yeah, I can. Okay, so here, let's try another one. What's the challenge today? Mask, bedroom, beds, traditional, calm, and familiar. So let's start. The requirements for both need calm and familiar, and the wardrobe requires traditional and masks. So the first thing I'm going to search for, I'm going to do, let's see what we have. So part of searching for tags is like, what can you combine that you know for sure will cover multiple tags? For example, when I was talking about the skirts earlier, I didn't want to use Wondrous and Strong because they were both traits. Now, because they're both traits, that doesn't guarantee that they'll both have that tag. They could have one tag but not the other. Now, if you're filtering for two different sections, then yes, you can put multiple tags in. So for example, we want the trait calm and familiar. I'm not gonna filter for both of these because then I could have one tag but not the other and then get frustrated that it's not fulfilled. So I'm gonna start with just selecting calm. Then I'm going to select traditional, and if I wanted to, I could back out and then also select masks. So now that we have a tag filtered for two different sections, we could also search for masks as well. Unfortunately, there's nothing that fits for both of them, so let's try, instead of calm, maybe familiar. Nope. Let's try taking off the familiar tag and use traditional. There we have a mask that incorporates both traditional and masks for the tag. Now I'm going to search and filter, and I'm going to try a calm item, and we could do whatever we wanted. Oh, that was an option we could have used as well, was calm and masks. And then we could have done a different tag for traditional, but either way, it doesn't matter how you do the tags specifically, as long as each tag is incorporated. So now that we have traditional and masks done, I'm searching for calm. I'm going to go for all. I'm going to put on this headband. Again, it doesn't have to look cute. You just got to get it done. Now I'm going to search for familiar. And I'm going to put on these socks. There you go. All done. So now that wardrobe is completed, I'm going to edit the mannequin. And we're going to go into wardrobe. So, if we're starting with a blank slate, did you see how by leaving the stuff out that I did from the last Daisy's challenge, it already fulfilled the calm and the familiar tag. So I didn't have to delete those. I could have left those and then fulfilled these. That's the helpful thing about leaving your setup and just using items that you don't traditionally use, and then you won't actually miss. You can always just buy more from Scrooge if you really want to. So let's search and filter. We have bedroom, traditional, beds, calm, and familiar. So we can knock out bedroom and beds at the same time by just looking in the beds filter. Now we could also add any of these, calm, familiar, or traditional. Let's go for the calm tag and the traditional tag and see if there's a bed in there. There's plenty. We could literally just use this mat. I try to use the smallest items, the items that take up the least amount of space, because that way I can, again, leave my items and just keep editing my show area. So apparently this bed covered familiar as well. So now we have every single tag. We have every tag that we need. So I'm going to go to Daisy, ask her if the challenge is complete. And the challenge is done. She gave me 100 daisy coins. And that's it. Alright, I hope that this was helpful. And if I wasn't clear about anything, or you still have any questions, definitely please ask. I'm more than happy to answer any best that I can. Yeah. Alright, bye guys!